Damian Lillard has finally requested a trade from Portland, and no, that isn't breaking news, but today we're going to get behind the reason why and the truth behind it as well, and why he will ultimately end up where he wants to, which is in Miami. The short answer and the simple one is NBA stars just get what they want. We live in a time where player movement is empowered and more than any other league, and I am for it. But in times like this is where it kind of hurts the franchises where they can't get the ultimate return for the superstar because the superstars just get what they want. We've seen it last year with Kevin Durant. There were reports of the Raptors had a better trade package than the Suns, but then we all just woke up one day and KD, even though he requested his trade, ultimately ended up without a no-trade clause, I might add, which was Phoenix. I say all this to say, don't believe the reports that the Blazers are just going to trade Dame to whichever team has the better trade package. He's going to be ended up in Miami. He's going to be sent to Miami. And I think this is an interesting case as well because Portland is not getting free agents. It's why they are in the situation they are in. And you see people talking about, well, if they don't send Dame to Miami, free agents are going to remember that. Players will remember that, and they just won't sign with Portland. And it's like Portland's not getting free agents anyway. But with somebody like Dame, some people argue is the greatest trailblazer of all time. He's definitely in that conversation with Bill Walton and Clyde Drexler. But 11 years, went through the grind. We've seen all the memes. He's going to end up in Miami. It's why Miami did not trade for Bradley Beal. The reports that Jimmy Butler told Pat Riley Dame is the number one option. Hold out for Dame. And it looks like that's going to come true. I just think it's only a matter of time now before Damian Lillard is traded to Miami. But I think this situation is a case of player movement as well. Miami, you can argue, does not have the best trade package. That's why there's reports of them trying to get a multi-team deal. Reports that Portland is not really high on Tyler Hero, and I understand why. Just with their guards, the stockpile of guards that they do have. But with Portland, if you're trading Dame, I don't understand the Jeremy Grant contract. I really don't understand it at the time, even with Dame. Just the 5 years, that's just, for someone that's never been an all-star, I guess you could argue that he is a vet. You want a vet in the room, so I guess that makes sense, but that's just a lot for a veteran leader. And it goes back to Portland, like, what are they going to do with Yusuf Nurkic? Are they going to try to attach him in this trade with Dame and send him to another team? Or are they going to hang on to him? Curious to see what Portland does there. But Damian Lillard will be sent to Miami. It just all goes back to the NBA stars get what NBA stars want. Damian Lillard is, you could argue, one of the faces of the league. People know Dame. And I just think this relationship has been needing to end now. You could argue for a couple years now. Going back to when they traded CJ McCollum, you could kind of see where the cracks in the armor, so to speak, were happening. And now where we're at in this offseason where they didn't trade their third pick. They took Scoot Henderson, which I understand, especially if you are going to trade Dame and Dame is going to request a trade him, build Scoot up, and let him take over the reins. Damian Lillard in Miami is fascinating. I think it's the best fit for Dame. Dame can take over. Obviously, Jimmy can do all the hard work. You have Bam down low. And then Dame's just an incredible shot maker and shot taker, as we've seen throughout his 11-year career. And we've seen that Portland has interest in Caleb Martin. There's also been reports that the Heat don't want to trade him. There's been reports that Dame wants him on the team when he does get to Miami. I don't think Caleb Martin's going to be a holdup. If the Trailblazers are hell-bent on wanting Caleb Martin included in the deal, Miami's going to include him. You're not going to let Caleb Martin, even though he is a good role player, you're not going to let him be the reason that you can't get a future first-ballot Hall of Famer in Damian Lillard and finally get that third star to pair next to Jimmy and Bam. And it seemed like this whole entire time that Damian Lillard and the Blazers, from ownership to front office, had a really good relationship. And that helps in a situation like this where Dame wants out and wants one specific team, even though he's not a free agent. Some people would argue it don't matter, send him where you get the best trade package. That just is not how it works in the NBA with NBA stars. NBA stars get what NBA stars want. Damian Lillard will end up in Miami and will be the starting point guard for the Miami Heat on opening night of this upcoming NBA season. And I think the last question we have to answer is, does Damian Lillard make the Miami Heat a championship contender? Everyone would say yes. They literally just made the finals as an 8 seed with Jimmy, Bam, and a bunch of role players, high-end, good role players, yes, but a bunch of role players. Adding Damian Lillard obviously makes the Miami Heat a championship contender. The only argument you would have to make then turns into, where will they finish in the East? In my opinion, depending what the rest of the roster looks like after this trade, I believe that the Miami Heat would finish top 3 in the East and have a real shot at making another appearance in the NBA Finals after this last season. Thank you all for watching, and please let me know in the comments, where do you think the Miami Heat finish with the addition of Damian Lillard? Please like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more videos. Thank you.